Do you hope that people ask you about your sons?
Absolutely. If you don't ask me, it doesn't matter because I'm going to tell you anyway. Because I am definitely proud of my boys.
What's the best thing about your brother?
The best thing about Aaron is the fact that you could be down and he'll, like, if he comes in the room, he'll immediately make you laugh. Like, he, like, Aaron is, like, as you can see, he's a boy with a very positive attitude that can really brighten your day.
Are you proud to be Aaron's dad?
Absolutely proud to be Aaron's dad. It's one of those things where I tend to talk a lot. I tend to ramble. And seeing how much he can get done without saying anything is amazing. It really is, and it's taught me that I don't have to always fill the room with noise or with sound. You know, like I said, he gets a lot done. He gets a lot of people moving with just how he reacts to things.
What's the most important thing for others to understand about your son?
That he is Aaron. Like, there's some people that don't speak to him. Like, if they come into a room and he's there, they don't say, "Hey, hi, Aaron," but they may say hi to Bray. So he's a kid. He's a human. He's just like you and I.
Now you gonna talk. Now you gonna talk. Now you gonna talk.
Do you love your brother?
Yes, 100%.
How would you describe that love?
It's the bond of probably your first friend, and it's kind of the bond of like your childhood friend and you still being friends of like years later kind of thing.
How does it feel to have a brother who's a close friend also?
It feels good because for a while I didn't really have friends, but I definitely had him.
Honestly, I feel like we all we're a puzzle that all fit together. Like from Bray and Aaron personality to my husband and we all just fit. So we all have our own little quirks, and we all make sense. I mean,
Stand up, boy.
just how all of us are.
Do you think your positive attitude has led to a better life for your son?
Absolutely. It's one of those things where with my positive attitude, it tends to like bleed into other people.
If you could tell the whole world one thing about your brother, what would it be?
Look out, cause sooner or later Aaron's gonna take over the whole world.
It is important as a father to show unconditional love to your kids so that they understand what love actually looks like, right? And so that they can feel and understand when it's not there. Whether it's your son, whether it's your daughter, right? Unconditional love meaning you don't lock them into anything, right? Because I could lock him into saying, "Oh, he can only play football, he can only play basketball," or he could only be married to a female, or no, it's you do whatever you want to do and love how you want to love.
How do you feel when Aaron reaches out to hold your hand like that?
I feel calm knowing that he's there.
Tell me about the bond between the two brothers.
If you, I always say this, if you want to know how to treat Aaron, just watch them. Bray is so natural with Aaron. It's like it tells me that me and my husband that we're doing something right.
Do you help out your brother a lot?
Yeah, I try to help out, but yeah, I do the best I can.
How does Aaron communicate?
So, Aaron communicates in a lot of ways. One of the main ways is he voices like now when he's not happy. He also, like I said earlier, if you give him something that he doesn't want, he'll throw it away. And he'll keep doing that sort of thing until he actually gets what he wants, right? And then so you sort of learn, oh, at this time he wants this, or at that time he wants that.
What do you love most about your son?
Aaron is so unique. Like his brother said, he is expressive. One moment he could be really happy. The next moment, Aaron is really independent, where he just wants. Yeah, okay. He is very loving. Aaron is just a very laid back kid. I see similarities with my children, but at the same time, they have their own personalities. And if you really get to know Aaron, you will see he has a big personality.
What's your number one goal for Aaron?
To be himself, to teach him that he can and be anything he wants to be. The goals are simple for him and his brother. It's literally that. Like, you can be anything you want to be, and you can do anything you want to do. So, what?
What is his diagnosis?
Aaron has White Sutton syndrome.
What is that?
White Sutton syndrome is a rare genetic disorder. Sometimes it could be passed on from parent to child, but typically it's a de novo genetic change, which is a spontaneous change in the gene.
What are your earliest memories of your brother?
My earliest members is probably my mom saying, "You now have a brother."
What did you think when that happened?
I was obviously really excited, but I was also slightly emotional because that happens when you're now older sibling and having to watch out for that person. So I was in a mix of happy. Huh? But yeah, for the most part, I was happy.
At the beginning, Aaron was in the hospital a lot, and Bray was only 5, seeing things that a lot of other children haven't had to see. He had to see his brother on a vent. He had to see his brother in the PICU. He had to spend a lot of days away from him. So Bray used to wake up in the middle of the night and just go to Aaron's room just to make sure Aaron was still there, because there was some times where a lot of hospitalizations happen in the middle of the night. So we had to be intentional to teach Bray about the good and the bad that could happen.
Now he want to be mommy.
What's been the most surprising thing about being a big brother?
Probably the responsibility you carry, and the responsibility you carry, and like. Yes, it's a responsibility, and the fact knowing that you kind of have to not always keep them in your sight, but know that you have to watch and protect them, basically.
White Sutton is characterized by autism and developmental delay and or intellectual disability. Not all individuals with White Sutton have the same traces of autism or other things, but it could be anything from gastrointestinal issues to anxiety, obesity. Again, the intellectual disability ranges, and that's pretty much like the most. Like, some children have seizures, and it's just a wide range. And because it was first found in around 2016, there's still a lot of research that need to be had.
Is there a specific gene that is affected?
It's the POGZ gene.
When somebody meets your brother for the first time, how do you hope they react?
I hope they react as, "Oh, cool, you must be Bray's younger brother." Think of him still as a brother.
And I remember the doctor called me, the geneticist, and she said, we have a diagnosis finally for Aaron. And she told me before she gave it to me, please do not go on to Google, because there was nothing on there that was positive. And I told her I wouldn't, and she told me White Sutton syndrome. She said, don't go on to Google, come see us. And once I hung up the phone, I went on to Google, and I just bawled crying, because before, when we were diagnosed, there was no foundation like there is now. There was no website that really described what it was. It didn't show children or their families. There was no one.
So when we heard White Sutton syndrome, it was one of those things where we didn't know what to think, right? So in my optimism, like I said, I'm like, okay, well, at least we know something, right? We know that somebody had did something. We didn't know what. We didn't know what the future entails for him or for us, right? But we knew we had something.
So let's assume that in the future there'll be a parent of a child who gets this diagnosis and they punch it into Google and this video is the first thing that pops up. What would you say to that parent?
Honestly, I would tell them now they should go to whitesutton.org, which is a foundation of 501c3 that myself, my husband, and two other parents came. We decided, we came together and said that we wanted this foundation for this syndrome. We would tell them that there's a community. There is Facebook. Yeah, is that what you want to say, Ehran? To find us, and we will help them through their journey. They're not alone.